Good afternoon, my name is Matt Modlin. I am the Riley High School Magnet Coordinator for Technology and Engineering. Part of my job as Magnet Coordinator for Engineering is to actually teach you about what engineering is. So I'm going to spend a little bit of the time this afternoon talking about what engineering is. So do you want a career that is enjoyable, provides a good working environment, allows you to make a difference, earns a good income, and has flexible schedules? Then you really want to consider engineering. I have a guest speaker that comes in every year that is an engineer that comes from a family of doctors and a few engineers, and he points out that his family members that are doctors often have to get called out of their family vacation or their family functions for emergency purposes for being a doctor. The engineers in his family get to stay around. They have that flexibility in their schedule that they can determine, is there an emergency I need to work on right now, or can that be something that I put off a little bit? So engineering really allows for that flexibility in your schedule. So according to the dictionary, engineering is the solving of problems by combining the fields of science and math to improve the world around us. So what I want you to get out of this is engineers solve problems by using science and math. And technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. And you see how engineering and technology work together. I'm using engineering and technology to solve problems. So I have a video here that I want to show you. This video shows the world without engineering and some problems that engineers solve.
Without engineers, the world just wouldn't be the same. And engineering companies are in need of ambitious students who will follow a path to a career in engineering. Engineers create roads and bridges, houses and buildings, water and sewer systems, and so much more. Become a part of the world's most important profession. Now is the time to design your future, so you can design our future.
Somebody answered this one of our other sessions. What's missing? Everything was missing. Engineering is all around us. Everything that you look at has an engineer involved in it in some way. So if you look at this building, an engineer had to figure out, if there's snow on top of the roof, I have to get all of that weight from the roof over to that wall, down that wall, and into the ground. An engineer had to do all of that work. And then, after they get the weight of that snow off onto the ground, they had to actually engineer the ground so the building doesn't sink. So engineering is everywhere. So we're going to go through an engineering problem. We need an object that can pass through each of those shapes. So those black, square, triangle, and circle are holes that we need to pass a solid object through. We're going to take and design one object using science and math that you already know to come up with a new design. Right? So it's a solid object. It'll pass through all three of those. Our tables that you'll go visit will actually have that object 3D printed. So from math and science, you already know that a cylinder, if looking at it from the top, looks like a circle. If you look at a cylinder from the side, it looks like a square. So a cylinder would actually meet the requirements for two of those holes, but not all three. And if you look at a pyramid here from the bottom, it looks like a square from the bottom and a triangle from one of the other sides. So this will actually pass through two of the other holes, but not all three. So these don't quite meet what we need them to do. So this is where engineering comes in. We're going to design a new shape, a new design that will solve our problem. And that can be applied to and really simplifies everything that engineering is about. And here's this new shape. Okay, so basically it's a cylinder that I cut a triangle out of, off the sides. And so now from the left side here it's a square, from the bottom it's a circle, and from this right side it is a triangle. So this shape will actually pass through all three of those holes. That's engineering. So engineers solve all sorts of different problems. We design sports equipment, musical instruments, imagine new products, design theme parks and rides, save lives, enter medical school, become lawyers, presidents, CEOs, make a difference, and change the world. Has anybody here had a broken arm before and had to wear a cast? A lot of you, wow. All right, so the plaster cast, if you had an itch right here, you had to find a pencil or something to push into the cast to try and scratch that itch, right? So, new technology came along called 3D printing. It can 3D print plastic parts. So now I can scan in your arm and 3D print a custom plastic cast for you within a few hours and put that onto your arm. Plastic is a much, much better material than plaster. Plastic is waterproof. What else couldn't you do with that cast? You couldn't go swimming, you couldn't shower with it. Now since it's plastic, now I don't have to worry about any of those things. I can now swim, I can take a shower, and since plastic is so much better material, we can put a bunch of holes in it. Because it's so much stronger, we don't need as much material. So now if you have an itch right there, you just reach through one of the holes and scratch it. So it solves that problem. The really cool thing about engineering is we've just created a whole new set of problems that have to be solved for that cast. New technology will come along and make that happen even better and even more fast. So that's engineering. So what are you going to learn by taking magnet courses at Riley? You're going to learn how to solve problems, listen to others, how to work in teams, conduct research, analyze information, how to speak in front of a group. When I started high school, there was no way I was going to get in front of a group of 60 or 70 students and give a presentation. I've got a lot of practice now. I still get a little nervous, but it's easier after you get practice. So we have our students practice doing presentations. One comment from a city engineer has been that our engineering students are unusually good at giving presentations. And that's because we make them do that, and we get practice, and it gets easier. One of the other things that you're going to learn by becoming an engineer is how to cope with failures and try again. Life is about failing. Believe it or not, you're going to fail in life. You're going to have to overcome that failure. Life isn't about success or failure. You're going to move through failures and move beyond those failures, and you're going to learn from those failures and get to success. But you will fail. I have failed. And having to work through those is a good learning experience for everybody involved. Right? You're also going to have fun and work hard and manage your time to meet deadlines. Okay, so here's some projects that students have worked on. We talked about building design. We have another project that's actually a marble sorter. You take a bunch of different colored marbles, put them in the top. The machine actually sorts them by color into these bins down here. And that's one of our sophomore projects. Digital electronics, we actually design all these circuits over here. And this right there displays students' birth date. That's all student design. I met with a Notre Dame professor yesterday, and he looked through our curriculum for engineering and looks at that, and one of his comments was, if your students are doing this, their freshman and sophomore years at Notre Dame are going to be a breeze. And I have a student at Notre Dame, and I'm getting ready, I'll have to touch base with him and double check to make sure that that's actually the case. But if the professor is saying that, I'm going to assume it's probably pretty true. We also have a computer science and software engineering, where we use computer programs to help solve problems. We are one of about 20 schools around the country piloting an Android app development course. So that'll be something that we have as well. Once you do all these things, we bring that all back together and you answer the question, gee, I hate it when, or I wish this product would. This student hated losing their remote control. So they designed this remote so it has a button on the TV. You push the button and this remote lights up and makes noise, which is great, should help you find it, right? But what if it's really, really deep into the couch and you won't be able to see or hear it? They thought of that and made it vibrate. So you can actually feel on the couch and see if that remote's there. You can feel for that. We have a lot of colleges and universities that we have affiliations with. That means they give either dual credit, preferential treatment on admission, or just work with Project Lead the Way and engineering on curriculum. One that I just had to add up here is Rose-Hulman. Rose-Hulman is #1 in the nation for engineering, and it's here in Indiana. This is where we have a variety of other projects. I am partnered with Notre Dame on a variety of things. We get dual credit through Ivy Tech and Vincennes. And if you go to Trine, Purdue, or IUPUI, you take your high school transcript with you and you say, I took these classes at Riley, and they go, that's awesome, we're giving you college credit for those. Our students end up all over the place, but mostly in the Midwest here. And there's really no need to leave the Midwest to go to college for engineering because we have a lot of the top 10 engineering schools just right nearby. #1, Rose-Hulman, University of Michigan. #6, Air Force Academy. #5, we have Purdue, #9 in the nation for engineering, and Notre Dame, #49 for engineering. So we have a lot of really great engineering schools nearby. Riley has these really great technologies. We have a 3D printer and a laser cutter that we use every day in our classes. It actually takes and focuses light into a little tiny point and actually burns through the material. So it's really cool. I want to leave you with this quote. Scientists discover the world that exists. Engineers create the world that never was. Come create the world that never was by joining me at Riley. Thank you very much.